All right, guys. Man, I had a whole nother segment planned. I was going to tell y'all a story about everything happening for a reason, but I'm not going to have time to do it. But just know that everything happens for a reason. No matter how bad you think it is, no matter how bad and unhappy you are with the situation in your life today, just know that it's happening for a reason, and it's a test sometimes. Or sometimes you got to go through hell to get to heaven. Sometimes you got to walk right through hell, right over hot coals to get to heaven. And I don't necessarily mean die and go to heaven, but I mean to heaven on earth. To get to where you're supposed to be, sometimes you got to go through places that you never wanted to go through and experience pain you never wanted to experience. I said I was going to do a motivational thing, try to do something positive on every show to try to help people out kind of through my lived experiences and mistakes and everything. Shit, I guess I can tell this real quick. You know, I went through a breakup back in July, and it was not a voluntary one. It was not one I wanted any part of. And I thought that it was just bad. You know, the older you get, the worse stuff like that hurts you. You know, in a new relationship now, doing great, but it had still never crossed paths with the ex. And didn't know how I really felt about it, how I would feel about it when we did, you know, whatever. Well, that finally happened the other night. And it was so relieving. And, you know, I don't want to sit here, I'm not talking bad about anybody or nothing like that. Nothing like a who won the breakup type thing or nothing like that. But it was just it was in that moment, there was just like all of that anxiety of wondering and, you know, any doubts that may have been there or whatever, completely gone, done. And it was in that moment that I realized everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. No matter how hard it is to understand that reason in the moment, everything happens for a reason. And it's like, whew. Now I just feel 100% better about the situation I'm in. Not that I felt bad about it anyway. There's no way to have this without it sounding weird, to have this conversation without it sounding weird. But it was just like stamping a rubber stamp of approval on this happening for a reason, which is just funny that we had just had a conversation on the way to this event about everything happening for a reason. And I've always said that people who say that all the time about everything that doesn't go their way because they're just trying to be positive and they're trying to make excuses for failure. Everything happens for a reason. No, sometimes things just happen because you're lazy. But I did say I think that relationships ending are always happen for a reason, no matter how long it takes for that to kind of bear the fruit from that. That you don't want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you. At the end of the day, if they're willing to leave you, there's not somebody you want to be with. They're telling you, I don't want to be with you. I see greatness in other places, not in you. So just take that and roll with it. And it hurts, and you got to pack it up, and you got to deal with it, and you got to live through it. And when you get to the other side, and you get with whoever else you're going to end up with, or whatever the situation unfolds, you realize, oh crap, that did happen for a reason. I'm in a much better place because of it. And that's what happened to me the other day. And again, not talking bad about anybody, nothing like that. But just saying I had that aha moment where I was like, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be and with who I'm supposed to be with. See you guys Monday morning. Thank y'all.